Grace and peace, everybody. I have no idea how California got away with this. This has got to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, at least I heard this year. So I'm going to go ahead and give California the most ridiculous, most woke award. You'll see what I mean.
Bill proposed last month in the California State Senate aims to create what's called an Ebony Alert system. This is to help find missing black women and girls.
Our Ebonies, young girls, are just as important as our Ambers.
Let's go to you first, Vivica. What do you think? The Ebony.
Okay. I told you, they've won the award. They've taken the whole thing. They've swept the field. They've won. California has won the most wokest. I'm sorry. They got it. They got it in the bag. It's a clutch.
You know, I live in the state of California. It's an Amber Alert. Stop trying to just come up with stuff just to clickbait. It's an Amber Alert. It don't matter if she's white, black, Mexican, Asian. We a rainbow coalition out in California. So stop it. That was dumb. And
I agree.
You're and of course, no, it's not a brother that came up with
Yeah, he
it.
did. Yeah, he did.
Governor Gavin Newsom signs Bill
Her face is
673 into
precious.
law establishing the Ebony Alert system for missing youth of color. So that ain't racist? Because
No, of course not. It's California.
Amber, and I'm black. So why can't black people have Amber Alerts?
Because you don't realize your systematic, internalized oppression. That's why.
And yes, I know Amber Alerts was created after a little white girl named Amber went missing. So my question is, who was the black girl named Ebony?
An Ebony Alert? Oh, great. So now we get to segregate missing kids?
Sure do. Yeah.
Was the Amber Alert not good enough for California?
Nah, wasn't good
You
enough.
know, Amber Alerts are kind of different state by state, but in Florida, most of my Amber Alerts are missing black youth.
When did it change from all kids to now specifically black kids?
So now the Amber Alert system, the one that's
Yeah.
supposed to stop people from getting abducted, that's racist. Listen, people, I am not joking. I didn't think this was a real story, but you gotta watch this video.
Shout out to Nate the lawyer. Great job, sir. Shout out. Holla at your
Okay,
boy.
so let's talk about what the Amber Alert system is. It's an alert system named after Amber Hagerman by creating America's Missing Broadcast Emergency Response Alert System. You know it as an Amber Alert. Now, here is how it's supposed to work.
What do you want to get? Ice cream. Chocolate? Yeah. Let's go, honey.
I always thought this commercial was I did like this commercial, I have to admit. I remember when it came out. I thought that commercial was kind of cool. Because I was thinking, it had me thinking differently.
Together, we can find a child by
He
signing
has a
up for
BlackBerry.
free wireless Amber Alerts on your cell phone.
He has a BlackBerry. Y'all, look, shout out to BlackBerry.
Now, this was extended to a silver alert system for people over the age of 65. But if you were above the age of 17, but below the age of 65, there was no alert system for you. But we know that young adults get abducted. So this young black woman, her name was Ashanti, she was abducted. And after her abduction, politicians came together and created the Ashanti Alert. Now, this was for people who weren't children and who weren't elderly, but for everyone else. This alert system was signed into law by former President Donald J. Trump.
In the
watch
last
out.
hours of 2018, President Donald Trump signed
Shout
a
out.
bill creating a new federal alert system. It's called the Ashanti Alert. It was created in honor of 19-year-old Ashanti Billy, who was kidnapped and murdered in September of 2017.
So you have a black 19-year-old who was abducted. Republican-led federal government created the Ashanti Alert System. Not
There we go.
just for black women or black people, but for everyone.
Which is something we got to keep in mind. This is for everybody. Wait till you get to see what California is doing.
Because they saw there was an issue with people being abducted. So we have the Amber Alert system for children and the Ashanti Alert system for everyone else.
Okay.
Now, this covered everyone. So if you were abducted as a child or if you were abducted as an adult, an alert would go out. Now,
For sure.
California, in its ultimate wisdom, focused on the Amber Alert and thought Amber Alert was racist. So they decided to create specific...
Okay, and in a moment, and you actually heard him say it, the lawmaker actually said our ebonies are just as important as our ivories, our ambers. He's literally saying that amber is for white people and the ebony alert is for black people. This is the most ridiculous. And by the way, I did mean ebony and ivory. I might actually have to play that song.
Specific alerts based on race. First up is the feather alert. It just sounds crazy, but that's what they call it. Here it is, the feather alert.
A new law is now in effect to help draw attention to missing Native Americans here in California.
It is called the Feather Alert, and Crown 4's Ella Silvermodium is live in the newsroom tonight to tell us how it works. Hey, Ella.
Yeah, well, the state is home to many Native Americans, and the Feather Alert works much like the existing Amber Alert for kids and Silver Alert for missing seniors, except it will focus on another vulnerable group, Indigenous people.
Now remember, at the same time, they already
have the Amber Alert
for children and the Ashanti Alert for everyone else.
Right.
But they wanted a special alert specifically for Indigenous people, the Feather Alert. But so not to be outdone, the Black community in California wanted its own special alert system too. Hell, why should they be left out? So here comes the Ebony Alert.
The Ebony Alert.
This morning, a new alert in California to help track down missing children.
Our ebonies, young girls, are just as important as our ambers. Our ebonies, young girls, are just as important as our ambers.
A new law signed by the governor creates Ebony Alerts. Similar to Amber Alerts, Ebony Alerts are aimed at getting the same resources dedicated to finding missing Black children and Black young adults as are dedicated to other missing persons cases.
Many of African American girls go missing, and they're listed as runaways versus being abducted.
And that, advocates say, results in fewer resources for those cases. Data shows young Black people make up nearly 40% of reported missing persons in the U.S.
Oh my goodness. ABC is citing the Black and Missing Foundation. Now, I'm just going to tell you, that place is a scam. Let me show you how. This is from their website. This graphic is not only misleading, it's essentially fraudulent. Look here at the bottom. It says nearly 40% of missing persons are persons of color, yet African Americans make up only 13% of the population. Now, this sounds like 40% of missing people are Black, but Blacks only make up 13% of the population. And as they say here at the bottom, they get this data from the census. Now, if you think that, you've been fooled too. See, if you look at how it's worded, the first half of the statement deals with people of color, which are everyone who's not white. And the second half of the statement deals with African Americans only, not all people of color. See, the part that says nearly 40% of missing persons are people of color, when you look at the census data, that includes Asians, African Americans, Hispanic, Hawaiian, Native Americans, Native Alaskans, and people of two or more races. But then when they say yet, African Americans only make up 13% of the population, they exclude all those other people and just focus on African Americans. Now, here are some examples of that same statement using all these other groups. And remember, all these statements are also true. Nearly 40% of missing persons are persons of color, yet Pacific Islanders only make up 0.3% of the population. Nearly 40% of missing persons are persons of color, yet Asians make up only 6% of the population. We can also do it with nearly 40% of missing persons are persons of color, yet Hispanics make up only 19% of the population. Nearly 40% of missing persons are persons of color, yet Native Americans only make up 1.3% of the population.
Amazing.
See how
Amazing.
dishonest this is? The true statement that could be said is nearly 40% of missing persons are people of color, yet people of color make up 40% of the population. But no one would give money to a statement like that because they say, well, there's no issue here. And understand this. They use that reasoning to create this new law, to create this new system. And to show you how bad they are at just reading, here is a state senator repeating the lie that 40% of missing persons are Black people, based on the Black and Missing Foundation.
State Senator Stephen Bradford is the author of a new law that creates Ebony Alerts for a community disproportionately impacted by missing youth.
African American young individuals make up almost 40% of those individuals who come up missing.
He read it wrong too, and then wrote a law that the governor signed that's now the law of California. You can't make this up. So, just to recap, we had the Amber Alert system for kids, we had the Silver Alert system for people who are over 65, and we had the Ashanti Alert system for everyone else. Now, California decided to have alert systems based on race. So we have the Feather Alert system if you're a Native American, and now you have the Ebony Alert system, which sounds racist as crazy, but now they have that just for Black people. So I wonder what they're going to come up with next. The Sombrero Alert system for Hispanics or the Yellow Alert system for Asians? Like, this is really getting ridiculous here.
Nate, don't hurt him, Nate. Don't hurt him. But for real, like, I mean, he's making fun of it, but now we're making laws based upon race. And wait till you see the example that he gives in a second. It's going to be amazing.
And when did the alert system for missing persons become so racially charged, right? Listen to the state senator again.
Our Ebony's young girls are just as important as our Ambers.
He sees Amber as white and Ebony's as black. And if you notice, he never mentions the Ashanti alert system, which covers the people that he says he wants to protect or not being covered by the Amber alert system. Remember, the Ashanti alert system was created in memory of a black woman. So essentially, they have solved a problem that's already been solved.
It's already solved.
There's already a system in place for young black women, but not limited to young black women by race. It's supposed to help everybody, which the law is supposed to do. See, an Ebony alert is supposed to be used for black people up to the age of 25. But what about white people in that age range? Do they not get an alert? Is there no Ivory alert? Let's just call it what it is. This is reverse racism on a massive scale. Now think about it. I'm going to ask you, in 1950 Alabama, if we put 2 alert systems in place, one for whites and one for blacks, we would call that institutionalized racism, right? Whites versus coloreds. But instead of whites versus coloreds, we now have Ambers versus Ebonies. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate Lloyd. Tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section, because this is starting to get insane. We should be trying to help everyone and not trying to discriminate based on race. I'll see you next time.
Yo, shout out to Nate the lawyer for the great history lesson as well as that fantastic video. Let me know what you think. Do you think that, Jason, you just misunderstood it? This is equal and fair treatment under the law. It's all good. It makes sense. Well, let me know what you think down in the comment section, or if maybe you think that I got it completely and utterly correct. California deserves the wokest award possible. There's no other way around it. They won. They won. Hands down. They won. Anyway, drop me that 3-piece special. Let me know what you think about this video. Comment about this video. Share. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. We're out.